Having declared that Ephraim and Syria will not succeed in conquering Judah, Isaiah now states why he said this. For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people. Taking Isaiah by the hand denotes both the Lord's trust and a gift of power. But God also gives Isaiah a commandment to separate himself from the people and to cling only to him. And which people is Isaiah to separate himself from? Ironically, from God's people, from the covenant people, because so many of them have separated themselves from God. And since all of this is found in Isaiah's timeline for the last days, it applies to our day as well. This holy handclasp corresponds to a latter-day servant's experience when he receives his gift of power in the heavens. And in this regard, King David is a type. Then thou spakest in vision to thy Holy One, and saidst, I have laid help upon one that is mighty. I have exalted one chosen out of the people. I have found David, my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him. And with whom my hand shall be established, mine arm also shall strengthen him. As Isaiah was strengthened by God's hand, so shall this future servant be strengthened. Then the Lord continues with this instruction. Say ye not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say a confederacy. Neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. The word confederacy can also be translated as conspiracy. It looks like Isaiah was being accused of treason for not following the dictates of the king. But now the Lord is telling Isaiah not to worry about that. Just because the king and his people are saying that he's a traitor doesn't mean they're right. God knows of Isaiah's loyalty to him and will protect him. But again, we'll see this in the last days. A prophet of God will be considered treasonous by many of the people, even though he's speaking the words of God. But he must not fear. Rather, as we're told, sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear. To sanctify the Lord means to believe in him, to hearken to him, even to the point of becoming sanctified by him. But because most of the covenant people refuse to do this, the Lord will become a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. He will even become a gin and a snare to them. Now, we don't often think of the Lord as being a snare. And of course, even here he's not trying to trap anyone. But he can become a rock of offense when people become offended by his word, which comes through the prophet. An offense can lead to anger, which itself becomes a gin and a snare, trapping the people in a cycle of rebellion. Taking offense at God's word dooms the people to a cycle of destruction as well. In the case of Israel, the Assyrian army would soon rush in and destroy them. Thus, Isaiah says, and many among them shall stumble, and fall, and be broken, and be snared, and be taken. They would not only be taken by Satan, they would be taken by the Assyrians as well. Jacob, in the Book of Mormon, echoed this truth. I perceive by the workings of the Spirit which is in me, that by the stumbling of the Jews, they will reject the stone upon which they might build and have safe foundation. Rejecting God leads to being snared, because rejecting God and his prophet always leads to a loss of light and a loss of protection. The Lord now tells Isaiah to bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. We can visualize Isaiah writing this on a scroll, tying it up with a cord, and keeping it safe among a small group of his faithful friends. Because of that, the law will no longer go forth to all the people because they've already rejected it. Isaiah says, And I will wait upon the Lord, that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. There's a division now between the prophet and many of the covenant people. He will wait upon God no matter the cost, and they will hope for outside help. Ironically, many of them hoping for help from Assyria, who would destroy Israel. But it appears that King Ahaz not only accused Isaiah of treason, but he apparently also issued a decree that Isaiah could no longer prophesy to the people. Thus, Isaiah gives us the last verse of this paragraph. Behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. In other words, the names of his two sons will continue to serve as prophecies to the people. Shir-Jashub, the name of his first son, means a remnant shall return. And Maher-Shalal-Hash-Baz, the name of his second son, means hurry to the plunder and hasten to the spoil. Both names proved prophetic in Isaiah's day, as they will again in ours. Next time, we'll discover who this fallen people will turn to when they reject their Savior and his prophet. I'm Curtis Taylor with the Words of Isaiah.